Welcome to FSA Vision Taichung office, one of our 3 regional headquarters, which also includes Seattle and Milan. The Taichung facility, we actually have 5 factories in the Taichung area, of which we're doing carbon rims, carbon cranks, forgings, hubs, chain rings, as well as bottom brackets and headsets. This particular factory is doing wheel assembly, it's doing bottom bracket assembly, chain ring manufacturing, chain ring machining, as well as crank assembly. The raw aluminum tubing that we've sourced goes into the CNC machine here. Then it's fed into and through for better machining. Once it's fed into the CNC, goes through all the machining process, then the headset top caps come out here on the other side. Once the raw aluminum blanks come in, they're cut down to size like this, put into the CNC machine, and then after CNC, they come out like this, rather thick, but needing additional machining. After initial machining process, the chainring is at this point here. Then it's put into this CNC machine for additional machining steps, which you can see there. The final machining process comes out like this. Original, now the next step. After being sent out for the anodizing process, the now black chain rings are put back into CNC machine here, as you can see, for an additional machining process that allows for more precise shifting. We're also forging chain rings here, sent out for forging, comes back for initial CNC work, and eventually ends up like this. Before and after. After the chain rings are finished with the CNC process downstairs, they're brought upstairs and put on and assembled onto cranks. Big ring first, then into the small ring. The last crank set I showed you is for more higher end cranks, where we have a single assembler for each crank set. For a more volume crank set, we're using a traditional assembly line where each different person assembles just a different step. Part of the final finishing process for cranks also includes laser etching as well as tracking information. This ensures that we can control the workflow of what goes happen into the market. It also allows us for better quality control.
Yes, yes, yes.
The forgings are all done at one of our additional factories. After forging, a lot of the materials are coming here for additional machining and CNC. In the case of free hubs, after additional machine process, first step is like this. After additional machining here, the final step is like this. The final hub assembly process includes putting the free hubs, axles, and bearings into the hub shells themselves, and final assembly. The wheel assembly process starts with spokes being laced into hubs, and then afterwards, that's laced into the rim itself by hand. For some wheel production, we're using the Holland Mechanics wheel building machine. After hand lacing, the wheels will go in for an initial build sequence. The Holland Mechanics machine will do an initial build sequence as well as doing an initial tension and detention process in order to pre-stress the wheel prior to its final truing and tensioning process. The final check process includes truing, dishing, checking tension to make sure everything is within tolerance. It's all done by hand. After wheel assembly, all the wheels come here for logo and decal application. We control all the logos and decals we put on the product, so we have better control over the flow of what product enters the market. After this application, all the wheels go into the final boxes for shipping. We have our own testing facility which allows us to do in-house testing for ISO for all the components that we manufacture. It also allows us to do our own in-house testing protocols from everything from cranks, headsets, bottom brackets to wheels, handlebar, stems, seat posts.